Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, I'm going through phases with this stuff. At first I thought humor would be the best medicine. The President of the United States is just a dementia patient. It is what it is, haha, so funny, just laugh it off. It was the only way to stay sane, but after a year or so of that, it started to get a little bit depressing, didn't it? It's no longer a joke. This is serious. The President of the United States cannot be pooping his pants at public events. The President of the United States needs to lead the world. The baseline standard has got to be something higher than, well, at least he isn't a complete vegetable. It was just disappointment, sadness, depression, but now it's evolved. It's beyond that. It's now utter shock and embarrassment. Frankly, I think embarrassment is probably what people are feeling the most. You know, you got the rest of the world's leaders. Whether you agree with them or not, whether they're dictators or not, you can at least admit that they're all there, you know? Their brain works. They're either competent allies or competent adversaries. Whether they're friend or foe, you gotta respect the fact that they're serious dealers. But this guy, he's actually kooky Grandpa Joe embarrassing you on the world stage. It's like having a really weird, creepy granddad who's coming to your graduation and your reunions and your birthday parties.
I love your ears. I love them. They're really cool. What's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine, what a beautiful name. That's my mommy's name. Well, nice to see. How old are you, 17? 6.
He's coming to all the public events, acting like a total, utter disaster, and the secondhand embarrassment, well, it's just becoming too hard to bear. Joe Biden meets our allies in France at the D-Day commemoration ceremony, and holy frickin' moly, I've never seen anything like it. Folks, we have got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so let's start off with the worst clip, the clip that has everybody questioning what the frick is going on. Here's Joe Biden on stage with Emmanuel Macron and his wife, and well, this happened.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
I mean, serious, honest question. Did we just witness the President of the United States shitting his pants? I mean, excuse the unfortunate imagery, but is that what we just witnessed? It's crazy that that's even a question, but it's not even the first time. Joe Biden seems to be doing this new thing where he just completely breaks down, his coding seems to run into an error. He then bends over, it looks like he's about to squeeze something out. Usually he fails to recover and then people come in, sweep in, and pull him off the stage or remove him from the event, and that's exactly what happened here. Right after this moment, Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, escorted him out of the event where he skipped the ceremonial greeting of the veterans. He just got pulled out of there, and it's really no wonder why. You know, I'm sure leftoids are gonna go on and on, well, you know, he's just such a busy guy, he's the President of the United States. He's gotta be places. Give me a break. Being at that event is literally being places as President of the United States. He's supposed to be there with America's greatest allies. All the other world leaders are there, but Joe Biden has to mysteriously leave after it appeared that he almost shat his pants. Again, give me a frickin' break. Joe Biden's not okay. He wasn't okay from the moment he got out the car as his motorcade pulled up to the event. This was the scene as Joe Biden showed up at the D-Day ceremony. Again, what am I looking at? Also, later on in the event, he appeared to doze off during a part of the ceremony.
Au-dessus de nos têtes, des énormes obus de nos navires de guerre. Certains de ces...
Joe Biden just resting his eyes, I guess. And here's Joe Biden meeting with other world leaders, where again, he's hardly showing any signs of life. Again, exactly the same thing, how completely embarrassing. This is the guy leading the free world. This is the guy who's supposed to go to these events and be the top dog. Yet the other world leaders are chaperoning him around. I mean, what a fantastic reputation. We all remember in 2022 when Joe Biden took a diplomatic trip to the UK where he met with the royal family. We all remember the reports. Actually, as I'm looking at the report right now, it was back in November of 2021, not 2022. The official report was that Joe Biden farted while meeting the Duchess of Cornwall. That's this guy's reputation. What a complete joke. We go from farting in front of the royals to pooping his pants in front of, the whole Western world at the Normandy Memorial, then bringing us right back to the same point of how embarrassing this whole thing is. This guy's leading the world. I mean, for Pete's sakes. The first video I showed you guys, the men sitting behind Joe Biden, mostly look his senior. Probably World War II vets in their 90s, some of them maybe even approaching 100 years old, but most of those guys seem more alert and more cognitively aware than the President of the United States, the guy who's leading you. And of course, speaking of leading, I'm trying to lead the conversation somewhere here. Joe Biden's the guy that you trust with foreign policy and dealing with adversarial nations and world leaders. He's also the guy who doesn't know what the frick is going on.
Let me ask you about what Vladimir Putin said last night about this authorization of American weapons inside Russia. He said the supply of high-precision weapons to Ukraine for strikes on Russian territory is direct participation in this war. He went on to say that this is the way to serious problems, and again talked about Russia's nuclear capabilities. Does that concern you?
I've known him for over 40 years. He's concerned me for 40 years. He's not a decent man. He's a dictator, and he's struggling to make sure he holds this country together while still keeping this assault going. We're not talking about giving them weapons to strike Moscow, to strike the Kremlin, to strike just across the border where they're receiving significant fire from conventional weapons used by the Russians to go into Ukraine to kill Ukrainians.
Biden is now claiming that he's known Vladimir Putin for more than 40 years. So Joe Biden is essentially claiming that he knew Vladimir Putin when Putin was a KGB agent in East Germany. Now, obviously, I think this is yet again another brain fart, one of those Joe Biden moments where he just says random shit and expects that it's going to work for him. But it's either that or a young senator at the time had a very suspicious relationship with a KGB agent back in the 1980s. You know, when Joe Biden was running for president for the first time when he used to be known as 1% Joe. How ridiculous it all is. What an incredible performance from the most competent president in modern times. Holy frickin' moly, this is the guy that they tell you is a historically great president. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.